Okay, we've got a smaller girl gang, week 8. We're talking about the sneakiness in this episode, and can you be living huge and have to sneak around at the same time? Beck, why don't you take it away, because you were rather brilliant over our brownie sundaes.
Don't do this. I think that living huge isn't sneaking around, but to be able to say what you're doing is living huge.
Okay, explain. Not really, explain it.
Okay, like, with the alcohol versus sneaking around and doing that, saying, oh, we're drinking.
Okay.
That kind of stuff. Like, versus George and Amber sneaking around saying, oh, I actually like her, let's try and figure out something different.
Except that in both instances,
it's kind of illegal.
Kinda. It's not you can't kind of be illegal. Like, it either is or it isn't. It's like being kind of pregnant. Like, you either are or you are not. So, but is that living huge if you're partaking in those activities?
I think if you're living a lie, you're not living huge.
Yeah, because then there's a lack of authenticity.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we all understand living huge to be, right? Like, not only following your dreams, but also...
being, like, truthful for yourself.
Yeah. So... Yeah, and having respect for yourself. And so, okay, so the drinking thing was kind of questionable as far as living huge, but then also, like, the counselors being involved with the campers, the counselors providing alcohol to the campers, that's not, but then we saw the camp director do something that was a little questionable. So, how did that change your opinion of Dr. Rand?
My respect, it's just poof, went away.
It's not there anymore.
Is it because she was being disingenuous to herself, or because she was participating in infidelity, or because she had just had that awesome moment with Wayne and then was being self-destructive with Jonathan? Like, what about it, or all of those things? Like, all of the above?
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, like, we don't know if, like, she feels like, you know, she's disrespecting herself if she's doing that or whatever, but, like, obviously, if most people are going to take seeing something like that as, like, that is very disrespectful.
It all leads back to what she said in the beginning about letting go of the pain and how people are hiding behind it. How she's not ready to quite let go of the pain, so she keeps forcing herself into, like, situations that, like, stop that are, like,
Oh, no. Oh, no. Don't start. Okay. Off we go. So, but she right afterwards says, I hate myself. So I don't think you could be really living huge if you're doing something that causes you to hate oh my Lord, it causes you to hate yourself, right? That's, like, you can't have one and have the other. So, did we see anyone live huge this week?
Alistair.
I think, yeah, Alistair and Will. Will finally, like...
Yeah, Will was, like, human tonight. I mean, really, like, she didn't tear apart anyone. She showed remorse towards...
like, really sorry about, like, not being able to go with Becca. But she was, like, helping Amber and, like...
befriending someone that she hates.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that the one time she was being a good friend, and then she was truly sorry that she couldn't meet Becca. Becca was kind of like...
Yeah. And then, okay, so we did kind of see Will living huge. And she kind of made herself vulnerable to help somebody else. We haven't seen her do that before. And we saw Alistair living huge.
By just being amazing.
By being darling. But also, because he was kind of put in a position, like, the point of no return. Like, that was sort of a make-or-break moment. And in that moment, he decided to live huge. Because he could have laughed it off and made a joke of it. But he stood there and said, this is who I am.
He just is admirable. I love that kid. Yes.
We just want to hug and kiss him.
Yeah.
And then Ian Did we see Ian be huge?
I think we did. We didn't talk about this yet, but I think that after Ian helped Amber, he went off to find Will. I think he might finally be realizing that he loves Will. I mean, he might not know this yet, but I think.
But you know that for him?
Yeah.
What about Trent? Because we saw, like, some coolness out of him.
Trent? I think he looks better next to Chloe.
There's no such thing as Living HUGeish, but, like...
Yeah.
He's trying.
I think he...
Yeah, he's trying.
Yeah. Like, he felt remorse for what they did.
But he didn't stop it. We talked about that when you know something is going to happen to someone, specifically when it's going to harm them.
It, but he did, like...
Offer himself.
He put himself
he, like,
on the
tried
line.
to, like,
Yeah.
make them do something else.
He tried to put himself on the line, didn't go for it, but then he also did afterwards when they, like, you know, were all back in their, like, bunks or whatever, and he was trying to, like...
About it?
Yeah, like, see how Alistair was doing.
Yeah. And what else did we talk about was that we liked the part where Alistair said that he didn't see himself as gay, that he didn't like the labels, he just wanted to be a person, that he just saw himself as a person. That we liked that message tonight. Does anybody want to talk about it? No? Just thumbs up in general, we liked it?
I will talk about it. Like, yeah, why would you want to live your life, like, in a label, especially, like, with the show, huge. I mean, yeah, they're big people, but in this show, they're living, they're not living set out there. They're not living in the normal world as being huge. They're living in their normal world.
In a microcosm?
Yeah.
But we're still seeing a lot of the same junk go on, like the gay kid gets singled out, and Becca's made fun of because she's a little off. Not off, but off-center from the mainstream interests of the camp, and who else have we seen get picked on? Alistair and Becca. Ian was kind of, until he had that awesome moment at the talent show. So we're still kind of seeing the same junk go on. It's just all going on among a similar demographic.
And I think a lot of the show is trying to fit in. It's trying to, like, they all want to fit into this norm of society, and I think that's something Ian is really struggling with, especially in this episode when he was, like, really, as soon as he got invited to that party, he was like, yes, they accepted me, yes, they consider me cool, but I think that he really needs to find his own cool, because I don't think he belongs.
Also, the cool kids ended up puking in the woods and making fun of one of his best friends. Like, that's not all that cool. Yeah, rural. So...
And, like, I think he seemed, like, uncomfortable, like, when he got there. He was, like that wasn't his place to be. Like, I think he needs to be where he really wants to be.
Yeah.
I think it's cool, like, when people have their own, like, when people are unique like that, like, they don't have to be, like, what everybody else is doing. Like, he can go write songs with Will, or Becca can go do her, like, mythical creature thing, or Alistair can do what he always does. Like.
But I think at the end, Alistair summed it up for us when he was doing the rune stones with Becca. I don't really know what that is, but I don't actually really know what that is. But he was supposed to ask the stone a question, and it was, will someone ever love me as much as I love them? I think that's what everybody's looking for out of life, whether it be your parents or your friends or a love interest. Like, I think really all we're looking for is love and acceptance. Right? Okay. Anybody want to add anything? No? Do you know next week when you guys get here, Cup is going to be a butterfly? Are we excited about that? Yeah? Okay. They don't know what this means. They'll find out in the vlog. All right.